Monday, the 5th of June 2023, Brazil's decay and destruction. Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro, 25 degrees, hottish, sunny and slightly overcast. It is the first day of the new working week after a very enjoyable weekend. This week is also unique because it is Yasmin's birthday. Brazil is in a state of decay at the moment. With every day, you hear about a new bad story with possible terrible consequences for its people. Brazil and its politicians do not know how to get their shit together. Today, I read that in Bolsonaro's government last year, the GNP growth was 3.5% higher than that of China and the United States, and Bolsonaro was still not re-elected. We could have continued with the sustainable economic growth for everyone in the country, but it did not happen. How stupid is that? Now, the new socialist government that was in power for 16 years before Bolsonaro almost broke the country then, is again in power, and it is happening again. After 6 months in power, everything is beginning to break down again, and the entire system is eroding and falling. Unemployment and inflation are rising, and many chain stores, retail outlets, etc. are either shutting up shop, looking for legal reorganization to avoid bankruptcy, or just closing their days and evaporating into thin air, never to be seen again. Lula and his government's incompetence is an embarrassment internally in Brazil and externally on the world stage. How can a Brazilian state leader receive another state leader who is officially a dictator who has broken his own country? His country is literally on its knees, a fraction of what it was 30 years ago, and with a lot of human rights crimes on top. And Lula's answer to the Russia and Ukraine war, telling Zelensky, Ukraine's president for Ukraine, to give up Crimea, what is he thinking? Again, how stupid could you be? And Lula's obsession with helping broken neighboring South American countries that are under dictator regimes by using Brazilian taxpayers' money, how stupid and inconsiderate is that? Not to mention that Brazil has its own internal problems that need to be resolved. If Brazil were a reference as a country in terms of public administration, infrastructure and quality of life, then it would be okay, but it is far from that. Charity begins at home. Besides the fundamental problems or challenges of any normal society, e.g., inflation, unemployment, infrastructure, etc., other equally important issues need to be addressed that I do not believe will be resolved for a long time in Brazil. Brazil is at war with itself, constantly sabotaging itself in various ways so that nothing develops and progresses naturally and logically. Due to constant internal conflict between the powers and pillars of its society, nothing flourishes in the absence of peace and tranquility within Brazil. Like a company, if the partners cannot find peace to work and manage the company properly together, if everybody is not on the same track and goals of the company will eventually wither and die. This is what has happened since I arrived in Brazil in 1989. In my 35 years in Brazil, it is just one fight, confusion, investigation, scandal, etc. after another. When one ends, and usually with nothing regarding natural conclusive justice, another begins. I have concluded that Brazilian politicians know this and use this to guarantee their future, a mechanism and leverage that makes them look even more important than they really are. Continual fighting between themselves in the name of justice, etc., but nothing gets done. Brazil and its people are standing on the sidelines to play, to get involved, to further themselves, and only watching. The taxpayers pay the final bill for all the fighting and confusion. The Brazilian people pay the bill at the end of the day with nothing in return. As the politicians are fighting 24/7, 365 days a year, The country and its people are left to live in the same squalid, sadistic lifestyle and conditions as 20 or 30 years ago, and nothing fundamentally has changed. How incompetent is that? The country is sinking in its own negativity and its people with it. The politicians, who are so self-centered in their little superficial hypocritical plastic bubble, with their proportionally overpaid salaries and benefits, only have the short-sighted vision to fight among themselves, as they are neither desperate nor dying of hunger. It is a highly perverse situation that only looks to get worse than better. I have lived in Brazil since 1989, and unfortunately, despite the advances in technology, the internet, etc., Brazil is getting worse every year. Only a miracle can help Brazil and its people. Let there be one soon. I apologize for this post's negativity, but we cannot shy away from what is happening to such a beautiful country and special people. We must always try to look ahead and for something better for all. In bed by 10 p.m. Thank you. Thanks for reading my blog. Check out my other posts and share your thoughts in the comments. Richard. Photos by Richard George Photography.